Hello, trading is closed on the 17th of January 2024. We always start with our disclaimer. We'll go over our calls and then make our predictions. It's my trading plan for tomorrow, 18th of January 2024. Remember, I can be wrong. Trade at your own risk. Also, I'm having personal business. I had almost no time to look at the market today, and I have not spent as much time as I normally spend doing my analysis. We look for the pattern with the early low, which is this, and tomorrow should also have the early low. We said that this late recovery was a positive finding, and we also said that this high occurred when we thought it was going to occur, but I wasn't getting the kind of downside action I was expecting, and to make things right, you'd really have to move down smartly at the open, or else this idea was called into question. Well, we moved down smartly, so that's on track again. This is just a reminder of what we said. Tomorrow's pattern has the early low. During the day, we got an ultimate sell signal. There is the minimum. We almost always get more. We did. We did have a sell signal in the afternoon. The minimum printed immediately. If you were negative anyway, you could certainly play it, but there was no requirement to trade in the lower, even though we did. Well, there are some good things here. The gap down, hit a lower low, recovered over all those lows, so that's actually good, but it has to be maintained. What isn't good is that this pattern usually closes near its high. This one couldn't overtake the early high, and also the strong rally could not manage a close over this low or any other low. So for now at least, it's still backing and filling in a decline. Now, what counts isn't today's close, but tomorrow's open. We gap up here, which is always possible. We could have a good rally. We could even overtake this high, since that's a wall gap pattern, and these things tend to fill at some point. So if we gap up, all that negativity goes away, but there's no guarantee we're going to gap up. And until that happens, I think we're still negative here. Well, we had the January 12th date. So far, that's playing out. We have this rising wedge pattern here, which targets to move down into the 4500s if it plays out. Now let's look at this blue trend line, which has quite a few hits. See all these hits here. We gapped under the line and then moved back up to the line and then stopped. So we're at resistance. Now, any move like this needs confirmation. You have to go under today's close, or else that break doesn't count. I mean, you gap up here, we just forget this. But until we do that, we had a move up that stopped right at strong resistance with a much lower target, and all that's negative stuff. Now again, it could be killed. You gap up here, keep going up, then the idea is killed. There's no confirmation until we open tomorrow. But for right now, absent such a gap up, this looks like more trouble on the downside here. Stills are mixed. I take things a day at a time, and commonest thing is going to be a gap and prompt move outside today's range. The pattern has really low, which doesn't tell us where we open. It is bullish. We gap down, hit a lower low, and closed over intraday lows. If maintained at the open, you should see higher prices regardless of where we close. Shouldn't be a D on there, where we close. In addition, sentiment indicators are telling us we're near a low in terms of time. You got a volatility index completely over its upper Bollinger Band. We have a equity only put-call ratio showing too much negativity. These aren't pinpoint indicators. They don't mean we have to go up tomorrow, but it does tell us that the downside most likely is limited in terms of time. It's negative. We couldn't close over intraday highs or prior lows despite today's normally bullish lean. The early weakness, in addition, usually, not always, usually leads to further weakness. Now, we use the mixed signals rules. I think we're going to see lower prices tomorrow, but I'm going to admit that if we gap up smartly, that kills the idea before the open. Anything's possible. So I don't think this downside's done. I think we have more to go. That doesn't mean we won't gap up tomorrow and hit a higher price. But if we don't, the most likely thing is we're going to erase all this gain and move down under this low pretty quickly. If we drop enough here, I think there'll be a chance to go long. The market sentiment indicators don't tell us exactly where this low is. I mean, I've got a target in the 4500s. So if there is a collapse, it's probably a buy. But just because I think we're going down doesn't mean we have to go down in a straight line. Tomorrow's pattern has really low. Mixed signals, commonest thing is a gap. Prompt move outside the day's range. I don't think the drop's over regardless of what happens tomorrow. And that's today's call.